Today, we're going to talk about how to become a firefighter, and we're going to walk through Firefighter 1 and 2 test formats. We're also going to talk about how to study for Firefighter 1 and 2 examinations, and then we'll talk about Firefighter 1 and 2 practice test materials. You can transfer these skills over should you see this content on your next firefighter written exam. This video is suited for pre-service candidates and firefighters who already work within a fire service and who are currently studying to obtain the NFPA 1001 Firefighter 1 and 2 certification. It is also suitable for firefighter candidates who are preparing to write their written Firefighter Aptitude Test for employment in a fire department. My name is Luann, and I own S.M.A.R.T Tutoring and Test Preparation Services. I have been working with aspiring firefighters since 2012. Welcome to the Firefighter Aptitude Test Preparation YouTube channel. Let's begin with how to become a firefighter. Before I get started, I want to remind you that this information is Ontario-based. It's a good idea to check with your own province or state to ensure that this is also accurate for you. Now, in Ontario, in order to become a firefighter, one has to attend a firefighter school or pre-service program. The pre-service firefighter program includes NFPA 1001 Firefighter Level 1, NFPA 1001 Firefighter Level 2, NFPA 1072 Hazardous Materials Awareness, and NFPA 1072 Hazardous Materials Operations. When a candidate successfully completes all training requirements through a recognized pre-service firefighter program, he or she will be eligible to complete the certification examinations and practical skills evaluations. Next, we're going to talk about Firefighter 1 and 2 testing formats. The NFPA 1001 Firefighter 1 and 2 tests assess a candidate's knowledge and skills in firefighting. These tests include written and practical components. We'll start with NFPA 1001 Firefighter 1. NFPA 1001 Firefighter 1 is the minimum training certification recommendation for all firefighter certification programs. It covers the concepts and skills needed to perform the duties of a firefighter. These include the fire service, firefighter health and safety, firefighter personal protective equipment, fire service communications, fire behavior, building construction, portable fire extinguishers, firefighter tools and equipment, ropes and knots, forcible entry, ground ladders, search and rescue, tactical ventilation, water supply systems, fire hose appliances and nozzles, supply line and attack line evolutions, fire suppression, firefighter survival, salvage and overhaul, firefighter rehabilitation, wildland and ground cover fires. Now do yourself a favor and take a screenshot here or record these components because these are tested components. The written exam for Firefighter Level 1 consists of 100 multiple choice questions. Students have 1 hour and 40 minutes to complete the written exam. The student must achieve a score of 70% on the exam to qualify for certification. Students must also pass all Firefighter 1 practical skills exams in order to be certified. Let's move into talking about NFPA 1001 Firefighter 2. This level builds off of the knowledge learned in Firefighter Level 1. It is the continuing development of firefighter knowledge and skills, leading to more advanced instructor and officer development training. The concepts include establishing and transferring command, advanced fire suppression, vehicle rescue and extrication operations, assisting special rescue teams, fire detection, suppression, and smoke control systems, fire and life safety initiatives, and fire origin and cause determination. Again, feel free to take a screenshot or record these because they will be tested components. The Firefighter 2 written exam consists of 100 multiple choice questions. Students have 1 hour and 40 minutes to complete the written exam. The student must achieve a score of 70% on the exam to qualify for certification. And just like in level 1, students must also pass all Firefighter 2 practical skills exams to be certified. If a candidate successfully completes both knowledge and skill requirements where appropriate for an NFPA standard, they will receive certification with an IFSAC seal and Pro Board application where applicable. These seals and certifications are recognized worldwide in the fire service and represent completeness, fairness, security, validity, and correlation to international standards. Candidates have a maximum of 3 attempts for each written examination before additional training is required. After the third attempt, candidates are required to complete the full course again before attempting another certification examination. Candidates have a maximum of 3 attempts for each written examination before additional training is required. After the third attempt, candidates are required to complete the full course again before attempting another certification examination. Candidates must work with the program coordinator at their school for additional training and demonstrate that they have completed it. Let's talk about how to study for Firefighter 1 and 2. First, I want you to confirm the addition of the IFSTA Essentials of Firefighting that you need and get a copy of that text. In Ontario, we are still using the 7th edition of IFSTA Essentials of Firefighting that was confirmed by the OFM. There is also an audiobook available if you prefer to listen instead of reading. So you can go ahead and find that on the IFSTA website. In terms of studying, if you're in class, I do encourage you to read or listen to the chapters before your lesson in the class. This is going to give you a heads up in terms of what you will be covering and an idea of where you need clarification. So you can go into your class best prepared and ask questions as needed. It's important for you to pay attention to repeated information in the chapter previews, reviews, and lectures. The more the content is repeated, the more likely it is to be tested. A study strategy I have for you is to visualize what you read or hear in your head to help you retain information. If you are someone who can read a paragraph and have no problems reading the paragraph but can't remember what you read, this strategy is going to work for you. By visualizing what you're reading, you're creating a hook that your memory is going to be able to hold on to, and that in turn is going to allow you to retain the content. Another strategy I have for you is to take good notes, and I recommend the Cornell method of note taking. This is a popular note taking method, and you can look up how to do it online. The reason why I like it is because it gives specific places on the paper for specific items. For example, in the cues column, you could put your term, and then in the note taking area, you can put the definition to that term. Or likewise, you could put a heading or a subheading in the cues column, and in the note taking column, you can put the details, explanations, and examples that go in line with that heading or subheading. In the summaries column, this gives you an opportunity to reflect on the content you learned and to identify whether or not you know it, because this gives you a place to put the ideas in your own words. If you cannot use your own words to explain the concepts you learned, the likelihood is you don't know the concepts well enough. And this would be an indication to you that you need some further review or you need to start asking questions to get clarification on the concepts that you are learning. Another reason why I like the Cornell method of note taking is because you can use it as a test taking tool. For example, you can fold over the note taking area and then you can look at the cues column to see if you can remember the content that's related to the headings or the terms that are in the cues column. So, for example, let's say this is your cues column and this is your note taking area. You can fold that over so you only see the cues column and then test yourself to know whether or not you have the content memorized that is in the note taking area. When it comes to reviewing your content, I encourage you to recite the information. Remember, the more you process the content, the more likely you are to remember it. If you recite it, which is to say it out loud, you're processing it verbally and orally, which will enable you to retain the information in your long term memory a little bit quicker than what you would be doing if you were simply reading it to yourself. So, to recite, cover your notes and say over the facts and ideas of the lecture as fully as you can and in your own words. Then verify what you've said. If there's some discrepancies, that would be an indication that you need to review that concept or that idea a little bit more. In terms of review, I recommend spending 10 minutes every day in a quick review to assess what you know and what you need to know or what you need clarification on. I want you to think about the instructor giving the lesson as the same as someone putting a nail into a piece of wood. The review you take is equivalent to the amount of hits on the nail. So the more you review your content, the more likely the information is going to go into your long term memory. In the same way, the more you hit the nail, the more likely the nail is going to go into the piece of wood. So, for review, I would like it if you had multiple short sessions instead of one longer session. I want you to think about multiple sessions as equivalent to multiple hits on the nail. It doesn't matter if you're studying for 1 hour, 20 minutes, or 5 minutes. Each study session is equivalent to one hit on the nail. So, the more you see the content, the more likely it is that you're going to remember it. It's not about long periods of studying, it's about multiple times of reviewing and working with the content. I do encourage you to create flashcards for key terms and definitions. We've talked about flashcards before. I like flashcards because they are useful for multiple types of learners. If you are a hands on learner, you're likely to remember the act of creating the card. If you are a visual learner, you are likely to remember what the card looks like. And as I've noted in other videos, flashcards are excellent because they're small and you can take them everywhere you go. They don't have an end or a starting point, which enables you to review the content and not get stuck in the middle, which is typically what happens if we start from A to Z in what we're looking at, like a textbook, for example. So, again, I encourage the use of flashcards as a study tool because they're just an excellent resource for people who are trying to remember information. You're going to want to do any quizzes, chapter review questions, or other assigned homework. Again, the more you get your hands on this content, the more you're going to remember it. And also, in this case, if you're doing practice questions already, you're more likely to be confident in the actual exam. Lastly, I want you to start to apply this material into real life situations. Go for a walk in your neighborhood and apply what you're learning. Identify types of building construction, identify hazards, and think about how you would get into a building. This type of real life experience is again going to help you retain information better than what you would be doing if you were just to be reading the textbook. Now we're going to talk about the resources that are available to you to help you prepare for the Firefighter 1 and 2 practice tests. First and foremost, you must get a copy of the Essentials of Firefighting. This can be found on the IFSTA website. In Ontario, we are testing out of the 7th edition. This was confirmed by the OFM. Let's talk about the key features of the Essentials text. Now, it is organized to meet the needs of students and instructors. You might want to take a note or screenshot of this to help you prepare. Chapters 1 through 15 cover Firefighter Level 1. Chapters 16 through 22 cover Firefighter Level 2. Chapter 23 covers emergency first aid, firefighter level 1, job performance requirements. Chapters 24 through 26 covers hazardous materials awareness and operations. This is in line with firefighter level 1, job performance requirements. And lastly, chapter 27 covers the NIMS ICS Firefighter 1, 2, and hazmat job performance requirements. The essentials text uses photos, illustrations, key terms, and plain language to help you understand the content. My understanding is that there are tables in this text as well, which is excellent because, as we've said before, you will have table reading in your firefighter aptitude test, so you can transfer those skills over. The Essentials 7th edition also comes with a free app to download. You have the option here to stream all 173 skills videos. You also receive practice tool identification for free. And then you get samples of the interactive course content and the exam prep. The next resource I had for you is the Essentials of Firefighting 7th edition workbook. I recommend this resource because it's my understanding that the workbook questions are similar to the examination questions that you will see on your test. The workbook is designed to support your understanding of the course content. It includes more than 3,000 questions, and it has activities that cover all 27 chapters of the Essentials 7 text. Each item is page referenced so that you can quickly find the topic to review, which I like. So if you don't get a question right, or if you need some clarification, it tells you where in the textbook you can go to get that information and clarification. Activities in the course workbook include key terms, true false questions, matching, fill in the blank, picture identification, short answer questions, multiple choice questions, and scenarios. So, again, I feel that this is an excellent resource to help you prepare for your written exam. The third resource I have for you is the Essentials of Firefighting 7th Edition app. The app is available for use on both the Android and on an iPhone. So you can purchase it in your app store or you can go online and get it on the IFSTA website. A word of caution, there is in-app purchases after you purchase the app, so be aware of that. When you make your original purchase, you receive skills videos, tool identification, key terms and definitions in flashcard format. Also on the app, you receive exam prep questions for Chapter 1, interactive course content for Chapter 1, and the Essentials of Firefighting 7th Edition audiobook, Chapter 1. If you want additional chapters, I assume that is where the in-app purchases are going to be. The next resource I have for you is Quizlet. You will likely have to create an account on Quizlet to access all of the Firefighter 1 and 2 related content that is on that website. Now, Quizlet is a website that has pre-made content that comes in flashcard format and also testing format. So once you create your account, you can search IFSTA 7, Firefighter 1, or Firefighter 2, and then you'll receive a list of content that has been made by other users. So again, if you're looking for digital flashcards or practice test questions in a digital format, Quizlet is an excellent resource. Just keep in mind that this is not IFSTA based. It's not coming from the content creator. It's coming from other Quizlet users. The last resource I have for you is to ask your instructor or training officer for extra help. This could include practice quizzes, study materials, or a clarification on the content that you're trying to learn. Your instructor has a wealth of knowledge and experience, and they are there to impart that to you. As a learner, it is your responsibility to ask for clarification and ask if they have extra things that they could offer you. If they do, they will likely give it to you and be grateful for your questions and happy to provide you with what you need so that you can succeed. I trust you found this firefighter level 1 and 2 study guide helpful. If you know aspiring fire candidates who are working through this content and need some additional assistance, please share this video with them. If you would like to work with me to prepare for your firefighter aptitude test, you can find me online at smarttutoring.ca. My name is Luann, and I own Smart Tutoring and Test Preparation Services. Thank you very much for being here. I do encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel because next week we will be coming back with another video that will help you prepare for your next aptitude test. Thank you and have a smart day.